We are in our fourth week studying the book of Philippians and talking about joy, and I'm so excited to have my friend Robert and his wife Polly. Polly, you're my friend too. We're missionary buddies for a long time, going to Haiti for more than 15 years for me, and for Robert, I don't know, 20 years or so. And Polly's always been supportive and also has gone on a few mission trips. So we're excited to talk a little bit about joy in giving. And here's what it says in Philippians chapter 4, verse 9. Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put into practice. So, Robert, we'll start with you and just kind of tell us about your faith journey from college to starting a new dental practice, then actually coming to Faith Lutheran Church.
Sure. Well, thank you. During dental school, I realized that I had been saved before, but I got well away from my faith during college and through dental school, and I was very lost. And so I called a friend of mine, Brian, and I said, "Hey, where do you go to church?" And he said, "Faith Lutheran Church in Troy." And so I started at Faith and continued with my spiritual journey with that. And then fast forward, Polly and I, we met and we ended up getting married. We adopted a daughter. And at the time, I had a new practice in Shelby Township, and I really was trying to make ends meet. It was on a shoestring budget that we had. And so it was really a difficult time financially, and a lot of times we ended up paying, my employees and everything else, and we didn't get paid for a few months at a time. But we continued to tithe. I always knew that it was really critically important that we continue to give to God, because we can't outgive God, and He always supplies what our needs are. Even if it's not a financial need, He supplies the things that we need at that time.
Yeah, just kind of, Polly, if you could describe that time where it was just tough. It was tough to practice what God calls us to do.
Well, yeah, because I had worked until I was 45 and was used to taking care of myself, and then we adopted this little girl from China, and she was 1, and a little traumatized, as internationally adopted kids are. And Robert had started this practice, and he was, like you said, things got tight. And so I was like, well, I'll just go back to work. Your mom can watch Grace, and I'll just go back to work. And Robert kept saying no, because we knew we need to stay home for our daughter. She needed us. Yes. And we were in the process of adopting another child that we knew I'd need to stay home for that also. But it was really hard for me not to go back to work, not to go back to my old job. They kept calling me. And I just leaned a lot on Robert's faith then, because mine was sort of wavering, because I wanted to contribute and was a little worried about, financially how things were going. And I leaned on his faith a lot. And we got through it, and it turned out to be a great blessing.
And so we fast forward to today. Tell us a little bit about now, how you're doing that, how you're practicing your giving. You can. Yeah,
so we back probably about 10 years ago, after one of our Haiti mission trips, we thought, what are we doing locally in our own community? So we started one of the founding members of Trinity Community Care. It's a free clinic for medical and dental. We knew at that time we could both use our abilities, our talents, to do that. So we've been continuing to be engaged with Trinity Community Care, and I think that's one thing that was really a blessing, because we're able to bless people who don't have insurance, who are underinsured, and to really just help them out. And we're able to give them back their smile, and with that comes their dignity, their joy comes out, and that's the kind of stuff that really just is my octane that I get when we help them out. All these things bring such great joy when you give to people who can't give back. I think that's critical.
Polly, tell us a little bit more detail. I remember you told me a story, whatever story comes up, about really what Trinity Community Care does and how you're actually serving there.
Well, I'm a social worker, and I always worked in hospitals, so it sort of fit in with the medical clinic. And our patients that come to us they're just so grateful and joyful about receiving care, especially dental care. Some of them have not had care in 15, 20 years.
Right.
Started out, we thought, oh, this will be a simple thing to do. Well, it's a full-time volunteer job. All of our clinicians work full-time and they volunteer on the weekends. And as much as sometimes it gets discouraging because it's a lot of work, I don't know, I just can't stop doing it because you feel so much joy when you're working with these people. Our volunteer physicians and nurses and dentists and everyone are just joyful when they greet them, and it's really hard. I'm of retirement age and I keep thinking, I really would like to step back and retire, but I just really am having a hard time stopping.
You are.
So
You are.